If you should visit a place that has a lake in the woods and a beautiful waterfall, then you may also find two little engines called Skarloey and Rheneas. The engines know everybody, and everybody knows them.
Except us, the audience, up until now. Jeez, way to leave us out. Gosh. I'm already liking how every episode so far has continued to expand the scope of the sets. Initially, we started with Rheneas' station, then a glimpse of the water mill nearby. Now we get the whole freaking waterfall that runs past the mill. It's gorgeous. So now we are in present time after Stuart and Falcon had their names legally changed to Peter Sam and Sir Handel. One day, Edward was sent to the works, and on his way came across Skarloey in the sheds.
It's Skarloey. What's he doing here? Skarloey was pleased to see Edward. I've been sent here for a rest, he sighed. I was put in this shed so that I could see everything and not be lonely, but I do miss Rheneas. He's going to be mended.
Skarloey continued to tell Edward he had the same hopes. Sitting around at the sheds doing nothing really wasn't making him feel good. The same could be said for Sir Handel, who concurrently was working with a different set of coaches. Unfortunately, they were not happy with him even though he did nothing to provoke them. Adding to that, some livestock ran out onto the rails. Can't wait to see where this goes. Oh, and hi, Terrence. Nice to see you for a couple seconds.
He's bumped us, screamed the coaches. Let's get back at him. They surged into Sir Handel and pushed him off the rails.
Yeah, I don't think Sir Handel is enjoying his day either. I feel like he'd probably prefer Skarloey's spot at the moment. And what's with those coaches creating that force out of nowhere? Did all those passengers hit the front of the walls inside? That was a fast slam. When Sir Handel returned, battered and annoyed, Skarloey offered to fill in even though he wasn't supposed to run. So he was taken out instead. This doesn't quite make sense to me though. If Skarloey was put off to the side for a reason, then he shouldn't be signed up for something else. That's reckless endangerment.
The coaches stood at the platform. I'm ashamed of you, scolded Skarloey. You might have hurt your passengers. The coaches quivered. We're sorry, Skarloey.
The same could be said for you, Skarloey, if you're not fit to run. But hey, I see that went to the wayside. However, this particular trait of authority is intriguing to see. Apparently, Skarloey is respected much more for certain reasons, because those coaches went from troublesome truck-like behavior to submissive regular coaches. What did Skarloey do to them? It's hard to tell, because of how gentle and soft his voice is portrayed with Carlin's voiceover. Maybe it's because this whole specific railway is named after him, like he's the king or something.
The sun shone, the rails were dry. This is lovely, sang Skarloey.
As he continued to move down the line, the rails began to bend his joints in places they shouldn't. Hoping things would be better as he got closer to his destination, things went the exact opposite way. Before another word could be said, one of Skarloey's springs poinged and he began to run lopsided. Amazingly, he was still able to run. And yet somehow this isn't a liability to his passengers. Imagine if this happened while on the narrow gauge viaduct. Yeah, not safe.
I feel all crooked, cried Skarloey. We'll need a bus now for our passengers, sighed his driver. No, pleaded Skarloey. I'll get them to the station or burst. James was waiting at the platform.
Surely not that content either. I can only think what's going through his mind. Here I am waiting for another red engine and they can't be on time like me? What a disgrace. But with a final heave-ho, Skarloey pulled into Crovan's gate, allowing his passengers to get off. I guess his line runs in a circle or something because that was the exact same place he started when he picked up his troublesome coaches. Either that or I'm hallucinating.
James collected his passengers and respectfully puffed away. Everyone was pleased with Skarloey, but he was still worried. Old engines can't pull trains like the young ones can. They can if they're mended, Old Faithful, smiled his driver. And that's what's going to happen to you. You deserve it.
He better. After possibly putting his train in jeopardy, Skarloey needs amending ASAP, or two things will happen. He'll either never run again, or he'll be scrapped for doing something he wasn't supposed to. I mean, it's nice and all that Skarloey continued to finish the job the best he could, but his actions, I would say, were not well thought out. Aside from this, it looks like we came full circle now and caught up to the current time since Falcon is now Sir Handel and Stuart Peter Sam. So I think I can safely say all the narrations within a narration are done. Although I would like to know, if the larger scale engines passed through Croven's Gate and have seen these smaller guys, how did they not know of these stories? Did they not ever get a chance to talk to them? Alright, now I'm really digging. Anyway, this story was okay, but not as good as the last couple. Music, I really don't have much to say. This whole entry had the Skarloey Railway theme playing almost non-stop. They really want to hammer it into our heads. It would be nice to hear some variety, but I'm not going to complain on that. I still like the theme. Of areas to be shown, there's only one new place to see. We see Croven's Gate again along with some other stations. The viaduct is included along with a little more shown from the narrow gauge engine sheds. And the new place is Carlin Station. Unfortunately, there's not a lot to see because it doesn't linger on it too long, but it certainly looks different. Next episode is A Bad Day for Sir Handel. Thanks for watching.